Dear Ambassador, dear ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, it's a great pleasure and honor for me to welcome you all here to this event here, this symposium here, as you can see up there, Danish Archaeology in a Globalized and Politicized World. I'm Flemming Besenbacher, and I'm chairman of the Carlsberg Foundation and also the chairman of the Carlsberg Brewery. Let me first of all ask you to either silence your mobile phone or kill them. Okay, let me first of all say that use a few minutes here just to tell you a little bit about why we are here. We are actually in a very, very historic building of Carlsberg. It started all here. So the brewer moved out of Copenhagen in 1847 out to Valby, which at that time was a farming district. And there was one particular reason why he moved out here. He needed clean water in order to make beer, and he found clean water out here. The other good reason to move out here was at that time the first railroad was built in Denmark from Copenhagen to Roskilde, and he could foresee that that was the way to transport beer in the future. He was a very visionary man, a man who had very close connection to science. He didn't get a long education himself, but he was throughout his life, among others, have friends from the Royal Danish Academy, and he actually studied himself several languages. He had very great interest in history and actually also in archaeology, but of course not least in brewing technology. He was brewer, and he was actually an excellent brewer. He also out here established the Carlsberg Research Laboratory because he could foresee, as he wrote to his son Carl, that the brewer who has the most thorough knowledge about chemistry and biology will be the leading brewer in the next century. At that time, it was not trivial to make beer. Besides the water, as I mentioned, you need barley, but then also you need clean yeast. And that did not exist at that time, and therefore he built the Carlsberg Research Laboratory, which was not common at that time to have an R&D department. And actually at the Carlsberg Research Laboratory, just 500 meters from here, for the first time in beer history, the lager yeast was purified. He came in 1876 to the probably family-wise very, very difficult decision to decide that his son Carl should not take over the brewery and his money when he died. He actually went to the Royal Danish Academy, donated a lot of his money, but also his brewery, and stated that when he died, a foundation, the Carlsberg Foundation, which was established in 1876, should take over the brewery when he died. And furthermore, besides making sure the brewery always is well managed, the Carlsberg Foundation should also support basic fundamental science within natural science, humanities, and social science. He died in 1887, actually in Rome, and from 1888 we have the structure which we have today. The Carlsberg Foundation is still today the main shareholder of Carlsberg, and we still hand out of the order of 300 million kroner every year to basic fundamental science within humanities, social science, and natural science. He was also the man who actually rebuilt the Frederiksborg Castle, as some of you know from Denmark here. Fantastic castle, the National Museum, and that's actually also been supported by the Carlsberg Foundation today. His son Carl was of course not happy with that decision from the father, but on the other hand there was nothing, he had to accept it, but nevertheless he actually followed in the footsteps of the father. So in 1902 he actually donated his brewery, which was New Carlsberg. The father's brewery was called Old Carlsberg, to the Carlsberg Foundation. Luckily at that time the two breweries was united in one management team, and at that time another foundation was established, the New Carlsberg Foundation, which of course is responsible for managing the Glyptotek. And I'm sure you're all aware of that actually the Glyptotek is Carl Jacobsen's private art collection. And I must say, this is also another fantastic museum in the Carlsberg family. And I'm astonished every time I go to the Glyptotek to see sort of that this is one man's private collection. Quite extraordinary. Both the father and the son, as I said, had from the very beginning a genuine interest in history, in art, and in archaeology. J.C. Jacobsen, the father, the first travel abroad he took his son Carl was actually to Rome. They traveled both to Rome many times. Carl traveled several times to Egypt, to Greece and so forth. So there has always been a very close connection between these two brewers to Mediterranean. And of course the Winter Garden in Glyptotek is just one example of actually bringing Mediterranean back to Copenhagen people, which ordinary people at that time could not travel to the Mediterranean. I'm very pleased to be here with this meeting here. This was a meeting which was planned more or less a year ago. As you know, when we are sitting there, the 5 professors, the Carlsberg Foundation, we are reading a lot of applications, and unfortunately we have a fairly low success rate. But we have actually seen over the years a growing number of applications from Danish archaeology. It has been an area which has supported intensively over the years from the Carlsberg Foundation. And the Carlsberg Foundation have supported Danish excavation in different areas, as you all are aware, Bahrain, Greece, Italy, Iraq, Syria, and Turkey, and so forth here. But what I'm particularly pleased to see today is actually a new young generation is developing here. And again, this is another sort of key aspect of the Carlsberg Foundation. This is actually to help talent development in the Danish society and also help in the generational shift, not only at universities, but actually also at museums. And therefore, a large part of our money is actually giving to young talented people who have active projects, either as individual postdoc project, but also a part of larger project. The other aspect, I think, with Danish archaeology is that this is not only something with Denmark. This is another key word in the Carlsberg Foundation, this internationalization. Not only traveling abroad again to Mediterranean, down there, doing excavations down there, interacting with other scientists from around the world. And if we have outstanding top scientists within Danish archaeology, then other people from around the world would like to come here to Denmark and work with us, not only on Danish archaeology, but actually archaeology in international aspects. And I think in that aspect, it has also been pleasing to me to see this. And the final thing, which is again high on the agenda of the Carlsberg Foundation, this is the simple word interdisciplinarity. I myself coming from the science background and have been running a nanoscience center, as you know, and that was very much interdisciplinary. Of course, archaeology is another area which has been very much interdisciplinary. But I think what has also been especially pleasing for me as a scientist to see here recently is actually now how we actually bring in the natural sciences in archaeology. And that is opening many, many unique things. And I know some of you, I know particularly Rubina here sitting on the front row, will actually illustrate that with her recent grant. Okay, so again, a warm welcome from me, not least a big thanks to the speakers who have volunteered. Those who have been invited are people who have had a grant from the Carlsberg Foundation for obvious reasons since 2005. We could not cover it all, but we have picked sort of I think, diverse areas of interest here. So it's for me really pleasing to say here, I would like to acknowledge Anna-Marie Nielsen and Rune Frederiksen who have helped setting this program together. I would also like to acknowledge Christine standing in the back there who have done an outstanding work on putting this all together here. And for me now, it's only more or less a question now to really say a few words here, practical information. First of all, I mean, I hope that you will listen to the speakers up here, but if you should want to check your email sort of in the back row there, there's actually free wireless here, Visit Carlsberg, and that should bring you on without any access code. If you also are running Twitter, you can actually tweet with this hashtag here during the meeting here, if that's what you would like to do here. Here we have Anna-Marie Nielsen and Rune. They will be our 2 moderators. Anna-Marie will help us through the morning session here, for obvious reasons, since Rune is going to speak here shortly, and Rune will be the moderator for the afternoon session.